Okay. All right. So it is 7 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see everybody. Today's class will be working on a little bit of mobility. Mobility being like, you think about like, well, every time I go to yoga, I'm working on becoming more like mobile. And so mobility in the sense of this kind of fusion of both strength and flexibility, where, some people think of yoga as stretching, and it's bigger than that. It's more than that. It's also having the strength to go with your flexibility, or not just being strong, having, that range of motion to be able to take that strength places. So we're going to start in child's pose. It might be useful to have some blocks handy. If you have a block, maybe staging it near the front of your mat, and then find yourself and begin to settle into our child's pose. So you might want to take the knees wide to start, maybe together, just whatever intuitively feels good for you, allowing the hips to sit back on the heels, walking the hands forward, maybe resting the forehead on a block or the mat, and connecting to your breath. Beginning to slow down, to find a sense of release, letting go of the day up to this point, of the week up until this point, any conversations, and becoming present in your body, present in this space, present in this place, feeling your breath flow in through the nose and fill your belly. And then the belly sinks and the air flows out. Feeling this connection to the earth. Maybe thinking about an intention for today's class, something you hope to cultivate. And take 3 more breaths here, really allowing yourself to sink and surrender, to connect and to ground. And if you want to stay here for the full hour, that's your choice. This is your practice. Listen to your body and what it needs. On your next exhale, we'll slowly begin to walk your hands over towards the right, creating a gentle stretch in the left side body as the left fingertips walk out further. Staying low. And really feeling that expansion with each inhale, that left side. One more breath. And then through the center, over towards the left. Letting the right fingers be the driver to find the extension in the right side body. One more breath here. And then coming back to the center. We'll press ourselves up through tabletop and then drive the hips forward. Chest comes forward. Think upward facing dog. The knees can stay grounded. And then pressing back towards child's pose. And then again, forward, maybe rounding the back as the body comes forward, maybe coming in, finding a little back bend, a little cobra, and then back child's pose. Continue on your own, following what feels good for you, maybe even allowing, if it's appropriate for you, the feet to come up and then back. Warming up the spine, creating some flexion and extension. Two more waves forward. And then allowing the body to come all the way down to your belly, taking your hands out to 10 and 2 for Oscillating Cobra. So fingertips plant on the ground. Like I said, 10 and 2. Toes press firmly into the ground. Hip bones press into the ground. Big inhale, chest raises up. Exhale, oscillating down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale down. We're going to do 6 more of these. So follow your inhale up, really reaching those collarbones forward, finding this fluidity, pressing the hips down, finding strong activation in your legs. Aligning your breath to your body and the movement in it. And join me for one more. Up. And then back down. And take the hands, reach them back behind you. Clasp your hands, maybe if you can. Inhale, chest raises up. Knuckles driving towards the heels. Hold. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. 1. Release. Crocodile pose. Hands come underneath. They stack on top of each other underneath your forehead. Lift the feet up towards the sky and simply windshield wiper your legs left and right, relieving some tension that may have accumulated in your back during some of those early back bends and heart opening sequence. Couple more swishes here. And then allowing the legs to come back down. Again, really anchoring the tops of the feet into the mat, allowing the hips to press in, the belly drawing up away from the mat, and then the arms reach out. Think of a Y shape. So the pinkies are on the ground, thumbs up towards the sky, head connected to maybe the block or your mat. For the sake of my mic, I'm going to be a little bit higher up, but on your inhale, you're going to raise the arms up using your shoulder blades to really like draw them up and then back down. So keeping this up and down motion, not trying to use your like lower back, but really focusing on this like squeezing sensation, not allowing the shoulders to like hike up towards your ears, but trying to keep them back and up, back and up. This will probably start to feel pretty intense after 5 more if they haven't already. Squeezing up and down, up and down. For another 3, for 2, and 1. Very nice. Take your right arm out to the T, opening up for a nice shoulder stretch, rolling onto the right hip. Maybe allowing that left foot to plant behind the right thigh, Maybe even the head connecting to the earth. Several breaths here. Sending your breath to any sensations that you're feeling on the right shoulder. Also understanding not to press and not to be aggressive, but to allow a softening, an opening, a lengthening. 2 more breaths. And then back to your belly. And then rolling over to the left side. So left arm comes out to a T, again rolling on to the right side hip this time. And taking the option to plant the right foot behind the left thigh. Maybe allowing the left temple to connect to the ground. Breathing deep into that right top shoulder. Again, reminding it to soften, to relax, to find ease. Three more breaths here. Then back to your belly. Hands plant underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up to tabletop. Let's warm up the wrists for a little bit. So you can begin by just allowing the weight to shift forward over the wrists, making little circles left and right as you have pressure over them. Circling one direction and then switching the opposite. And then maybe even allowing the fingertips to point towards the long edges of your mat, wrists facing one another, and again, circling forward. And back. And then fingertips maybe towards your kneecaps, and then allowing the hips to rock back and forward. And not allowing the belly to loose and sag, and keeping that integrity of the belly, drawing up strong core towards your spine. Sometimes when we add movement in other direction, we forget. Very nice. And coming back down to our forearms now. You can stay on your hands. We're going to open up our legs, but it might feel nice to be on the forearms. You can take your hands clasping together. If that feels good, they can be parallel, whatever intuitively feels good for you. And then you're going to lift right heel up towards the sky and then opening it out. So knee, and then drawing the knee up towards like our tricep, and then back down and then up. Open, draw it forward, down, and then back. So continue this motion of, you said we're really working on adding some mobility today, both in our shoulders and our hips. So creating these kind of like big, maybe somewhat awkward circles. Maybe you notice there's a little clicking or popping. Then switching directions, going forward, out, and then twisting, and then back. So it's a kind of awkward motion. And if that's all too weird for you, just paint circles with your knee. One more. And then coming back, take a little break in child's pose before we move on to the next side. Giving the arms a break, giving the wrists a break, depending on what position your upper body was in. Just one more breath here before we move to the left side. And then coming back. Again, whatever form feels good for you. Maybe the arms are railroad tracks in parallel. Maybe you got them hooked so you make this strong triangle base. Maybe you're up on your tabletop. Whatever feels right. And then left leg kicks back and up, but is flexed. Then opening out to the side, think fire hydrant. Knee comes up towards the front, towards that left tricep, down, and then donkey kick up, out, forward, down. And continue on your own, exploring your range of motion. Maybe noticing one side is more loose than the other or tighter, and maybe there's one little section that just kind of likes to stick a little bit. Switch directions if you haven't already. Again, going forward, out, twist, then back. Do two more. And then meet me back in child's pose. This time, maybe even having the hands reach back for the heels or the toes, allowing the head to rest easy and drop. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Coming back to that sense of being grounded, anchored, rooted, connected. And then back to tabletop. So you might need to get some wiggles out if you need to, wagging your tail left and right. Gazing at your alignment, feeling your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Then drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the chin, cow pose. Exhale, rounding the back, pressing the mat away, chin to chest. 2 more, inhale, finding ourselves in cow, and rounding through cat. Inhale, opening. Exhale, rounding. Back to neutral. This time we'll take our right leg and extend it out, allowing the ball of the foot to anchor into the mat. Left arm reaches out and forward. You can stay here. Sometimes if you do find yourself having issues with the wrists, maybe coming up on a block will help you. You can stay here or even elevate that extended leg. Again, remembering to draw the belly up and in. Keeping the hips level, parallel to the ground. We'll hold here for another 8, for 7, for 6, for 5. You're strong. 4, nice and steady. 3, last 2. On 1, allow the left hand to plant. Allow the right ball of the foot to plant, pressing into the mat with our hands. Lift the left knee up. Curling the heel in towards the glutes, shifting the weight forward so the shoulders stay anchored over the wrists for another 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Allow the knee to drop. Open it up. So pivoting on the knee so it faces the long edge of the mat, opening up for our supported side plank. So right foot scoots back, arm reaches up towards the sky. And then coming onto our fingertips, using the core, the side body, maybe using a block to help you up as we go through Warrior 2 to our reverse. And coming back to this side angle, reverse the warrior, side angle. One more, reverse, we'll hold. For 3, feeling that extension of the left side body for 2, and 1. This time allowing that left palm to plant on the block, maybe the ground. Right arm reaches up towards the sky, and maybe even allowing that right leg to lift. Strong engagement of that right glute. For 3, 2, 1. Allow the foot to come back down, moving it over towards that right side of our mat, setting ourselves up to be nice and square. Right hand comes down, kicking up into 3-legged dog. So that bent leg, that one that was anchored, lifts up towards the sky. So the left leg's raised up, right foot planted. Stay here for 3, for 2, and on 1. Come down to tabletop. We'll go child's pose. Child's pose. Give yourself a break. Maybe turn the palms up towards the sky, pinkies facing one another, helping relieve any pressure you're feeling in your wrists. Again, coming back to that breath before we move into the next side. One more breath here. And if you're ready, back to tabletop. No surprises in what's going on here. We'll start by allowing ourselves to drop the belly, lift the chin, lift the tail for a cow pose. Rounding the back through cat. 2 more. Inhale through cow. Round through cat. Cow pose. And cat. Back to neutral. And then this time the left foot extends, ball of the foot lands to the back of the mat. Right arm reaches out and forward, thumb up towards the sky. Maybe staying here or lifting that back foot up. Again, allowing the belly to draw up, up, up. Playing with this little bit of instability, finding the strength that you have. For another 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, last 2, and 1. Allow the right hand to plant, the left ball of the foot to plant, pressing into the mat, rounding the back like our cat. Knee drawing up towards the nose, shoulders shifting forward over our wrists. For another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow the right knee to drop. Pivoting it out so you make it becomes parallel to the short edge of your mat. And that left foot, allow it to draw towards our right edge. So it creates this line with our knee and our ankle as we set ourselves up for our side angle. And then finding strength, maybe using a block to help us get up to reverse. And then side angle. Reverse. Right arm reaches up and over. Side angle. Reverse. Linger here for 3, for 2, 1. Coming to our side angle with the option this time to lift that left leg up. Squeezing that left glute, finding this engagement, this strength, not allowing the glutes to go backwards, but keeping them tucked and hugging in. For 3, 2, 1. Allow the left foot to step towards the left edge of your mat, setting yourselves up for 3-legged dog. Right leg lifts up towards the sky, stretch it out, maybe opening the hip if that feels right for you. For 3, for 2, and 1. Allow it to come down. Child's pose. Stay here for about 5 breaths. And we'll repeat that sequence, building up on it and not holding it for so long, each pose. Very nice. Coming back. Tabletop. Just one set of cat-cow here. Begin, find your strong tabletop. Then drop the belly. Lift the chin, lift the tail. Round the back, chin to chest. Back to neutral. Right foot steps back, left arm reaches forward. Maybe lifting it up. For 3, for 2, and 1. Allow it to drop, pressing into the mat. Left knee raises up towards the chin. For 3, for 2, and 1. Knee drops, pivots. Right foot swooshes back towards the left side of our mat, opening up for supported side plank, and then reversing our warrior. Side angle. Reverse, finding this fluidity. Side angle. 1 more. Reverse. Side angle. And then setting ourselves up for 3-legged dog. Right foot plants, left leg reaches up towards the sky. And then gaze to the front of your mat, left foot, left thumb. Here's another opportunity that the blocks might be useful to help keep you propped up, keeping that right knee up as well. And then we're going to work on shifting our weight into the front foot. So we'll have our right ankle or the top of our foot aim to touch the Achilles of the left foot. So inhale, we do a little tap. Maybe it gets there, maybe it doesn't, and then step back. So shifting the weight into the front, forward momentum, and maybe you're just lifting your leg up and it doesn't even get anywhere close, and you're just thinking about driving that right knee towards that right tricep, and that's okay. It's getting the motion of moving forward. So maybe you're tapping for 3, for 2, 1. And on that last one, you're going to take a seat. So the right knee goes behind the right wrist. Think like kind of pigeon pose. And then you just take a seat. You might have to shimmy around a little bit once you get down here. So the right sole of the foot comes in towards your left thigh. Arms are going to reach forward. So you have this bent leg extended, and you're really just, shifting your weight forward, seeing if you can get a little bit of motion and mobility, a little bit of lubrication through that left side kind of groin hip area. And maybe you stay here just working on this rocking, or maybe you can use your blocks. You'll shift your weight into the right shin. So maybe you can use the blocks to help you shift weight into the shin. The hips come up. And then back down, and then maybe we can stand all the way up. So the top of the foot presses into the ground, a lot of force in that left foot to allow that right knee to raise up. And step down. Forward fold. This pose might be a little bit more familiar. Shifting the weight kind of in the ball of our feet to prevent our glutes from keeping us pulled back too much. And that'll allow us to get a little bit more stretch, a little bit more extension in the back leg, the hamstrings, maybe a gentle sway. Maybe nodding your head up and down. And then bending deep in the knees. Step yourself back to tabletop. You guys are doing great. We got one more side. So again, strong tabletop pose. Keeping that belly drawing up, up, up. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, and then drop the belly. Lift the tail, lift the chin. Round the back. Chin to chest. And back to neutral. This time left leg extends, ball of the foot anchors. Right arm reaches out in front, thumb towards the sky, maybe lifting that back leg. Again, not allowing the belly to sag when you lift that left leg. For 3, for 2, and 1. Allow everything to drop. Anchoring into our fingertips, pressing into the mat, right knee drawing up towards the nose. For 3, for 2, and 1. Just as it is, allow the knee and shin to drop, and then pivoting out so that shin becomes parallel to the short edge of the mat. Swoosh that left leg back as you set yourself up for this side angle. And then maybe a block, or maybe you can harness this energy in the core to pull yourself up, reversing the warrior. And side angle. 3 times total, so reverse. Side angle. 1 more each side. Reverse. Side angle. And then gaze comes down. Look at where your hand's going to plant. And then look towards that back left corner. Allow the left foot to place there as we set ourselves up for a 3-legged dog. So pressing into the mat, right knee raises up first, and then back and up. Maybe finding a circle, opening the hip, whatever feels right for you. And then gaze forward, right foot, right thumb. Staying upright in this runner's lunge. Again, maybe the use of blocks to help you find a little bit of elevation. You can stay here, or if you want to play with that forward momentum, this forward motion, this mobility moving forward, allow the weight to shift forward, drawing that left knee in, and maybe the left knee comes up towards the left tricep, or maybe you're able to touch the top of the left foot to the back of the right heel. and then back. Moving forward like a little ball, a little seed. And again, maybe you're not there and it's just having that left knee come forward and back. And then coming to the point where you start to come forward, and then the right knee comes to the left wrist. Create kind of like a 45-degree angle or so and sit yourself down. Very nice. No, wherever you're at, maybe you're on a mat, maybe you're on a chair, reach the arms forward. And again, play with this forward motion to help create some space and lubrication in that right groin area, the right hip. And this is fine. It's a process. I am throwing a lot at you guys. And then maybe you're able to start to kind of like crunch in and shift the weight onto that left shin, pressing into the right foot and back down. And shifting forward, really using your arms to kind of, maybe there's like a rope out there that's helping pull you. That might, I mean, the visualization might help. Pulling you up. Pulling you up. And maybe you're able to pull all the way up to standing. Left knee comes up. And let it drop. Let your body fold forward. Very nice. Who knew that going from a seated position to standing could be so fun? Take an opening by allowing that left hand to plant either on the mat, on a block, whatever setting feels right for you. Right arm twists and reaches up towards the sky. 3 breaths here. And switching directions. Again, maybe keeping a gentle bend in the knees. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Wrist stacked on shoulder. Shoulder on other shoulder, shoulder on other wrist. And back. Down. This time allow the hips to come all the way down to a seat. And maybe there's a plop. Maybe there's a thump. It's okay. Bear seat. So feet go wide. We're doing great. We're going to start slowing down soon. Not yet, but but soon. So this one, I mean, maybe you could have some like blocks behind you and you could be chilling out. Like, this is fine. We're just going to windshield wiper our legs. So maybe you're on your elbows, maybe you got your hands back behind you, or maybe you're super motivated and you want to be upright. And then again, work on alternating, driving that left knee down, and then the right. Just depends where you're at. And doing this now, you might feel a little bit of difference from if you've done this move with me before, since we've worked so heavily on opening the hips already. Very nice. Roll your way back down, all the way onto your back. And then we're going to roll onto our right side. If you have a block, this might be cozy and comfy if you have it in between your knees to help create a little bit extra space. The right arm's going to reach out. So kind of like that when we started class, we did the T and then we opened up. This is going to be pretty similar in the sense that the arm's out, except palm up towards the sky. And then the left arm comes up and over, palms touch. Walk the left fingertips out just a little bit. And then opening up Left arm reaches up towards the sky, and then back towards the opposite wall. So now we're at this T, capital T twist. Twisted body, T-shaped arms. Two more breaths here. And on the next exhale, allow the palms to come back to touch. So left arm reaches back over towards the right palm. And this time, the fingertips are going to walk and create this kind of arch above us. So the hand reaches up above our head. So creating this big opening. Maybe the thumb can graze the ground as it reaches across, makes this circle, loops back, comes above your hip, and then back forward. Coming up, 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 bicep by ear, and then opening, down by your side. Continue on your own for maybe 2 more big circles. And if there's some place that you find on this journey that is a little bit more interesting and you care to linger there, feel free to linger and hang out in any place that says, ooh, that's the spot. Because you might have a spot there. And finish that last rotation. Squeeze the block in between your legs. Keep it tight and roll to the next side. So for our left side, we're on our left hip. Our left palm is up towards the sky, and the right hand comes to rest atop it. Walk the right fingertips out just past the left, and then big inhale, opening, right fingers up towards the sky, and then maybe out all the way towards the right side. Big twist. See if you can relax. Keep a steady breath. Breathe and settle. Take in and release. Two more breaths. And slowly untwist. Allow the right palm to rainbow back over towards the left. Maybe stay here for a moment, checking in with the body. And then opening up, allowing the right fingertips to reach up above. Maybe bicep grazes your right ear. And keeping your body anchored, being just your shoulders, the driver of this motion, everything else in your body stays the same. The arm itself, the hand, just kind of follows behind. And maybe finding areas that are a little bit more curious or interesting. And lingering if that feels right. Working out some of the stickiness. Exploring your range of motion. One more circle. And then allowing the palms to come back and kiss. And then rotating, keeping that squeeze of the block if you have one. Setting yourself up for bridge pose. And I do encourage you, if you do have the block, to keep it in between your legs for today's class. Walk the heels back towards your fingertips. Then maybe point your fingertips up towards the sky, anchoring your triceps into the mat, creating some little extra space for leverage. Prepare. And then on your next inhale, hips raise up towards the sky. Inner thighs drawing in towards one another, keeping that block in place, glutes engaged. And relaxing back down. 4 more. Inhale up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Chest comes to the chin. The chin doesn't come to the chest. Back down. Inhale up. Release. That's 3. 2 more. Up. And return down. Last one. We will hold. So keep it up. Maybe feeling all 4 corners of both your feet connected into the ground. Full engagement of your legs. The hamstrings. Even the hip flexors as they reach up, up, up. For another 3. For 2. And 1. Slowly roll your way back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, towards your chest. Remove the block. Give them a hug. Cradling, allowing a gentle rock left and right. And then option for happy baby. Back of the hands graze the inside of the thighs, reaching for maybe your outer legs or the pinky toe edge of your feet, and then finding an opening. Tops of the thighs, striving to be parallel to the ground. And they call this pose happy baby, so maybe allowing a little smile to welcome into your body as well. Finding a playful movement, little circles. Maybe coming to a point of stillness. If it feels right for you, maybe even straightening the legs, opening up, little split variation. And if the legs were straight, go ahead and bring them back in. Allow the soles of the feet to come back to the earth. Knees stay bent. Arms reach above. Wiggle the fingers. And then butterfly the arms out to the side. Reach for the heels. Arms graze your legs, reach up above. First towards the sky, and then biceps by ears behind your head. And then again, butterfly the arms down. So find your breath. Inhale with your reaching up and beyond. And exhaling like a snow angel, bringing it all together. Find your steadiness. your breath. Two more. As you connect to your body, as you connect to the earth, as you connect to your breath, or maybe something even bigger within you or beyond. And after that last rotation, allow the legs to extend out to the base of your mat. Palms up towards the sky. And then your right leg lifts just about an inch, maybe two, and just engage every muscle in that right leg. Feel that flexion, or maybe you're pointing your toes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the right leg for 3, 2, 1. Allow it to relax. Toes naturally fall open to the right. And then left leg, raise it up just 1 or 2 inches. And again, every muscle that you can engage, including that left glute, the hamstring, the quad, the calf, even the ankles and the toes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for another 3, for 2, and 1. Relax the left leg. Right arm, reach it up just an inch or 2 and make a fist. Squeeze it all together. Feel the forearm start to burn. Feel the tricep, the bicep, all the fingers squeezing in for another 3. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2 and 1. Allow it to drop and the fingers to unfurl. Left hand reaches up 1 or 2 inches, and again, same thing. Curl all the fingers up to a ball. Make that fist. Feel the engagement, the bicep, the tricep, the forearm, all the way up to the shoulder even. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then let it relax. And then your face, like you just ate a sour lemon. Scrunch it all up. The nose, the mouth, even the eyes. Scrunch, 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 squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale audibly, let it all out. Final Shavasana. If you need a prop, maybe a weight on your hips, a blanket rolled up underneath your knees, a blanket atop you, there's something else you need to support you, to help you relax in this moment, in your moment. Grab it now. And feel the earth beneath you. Allow the body relaxed to melt, to dissolve. Allow it to soften. And be present. Be your breath. Like a wave rolling in and out. Comes in and out. You can stay here as long as you need. Or if you're ready, wiggle the toes and the fingers. Allow the head to maybe drop left and right. Eventually rolling onto one side. Cradling the head in the nook of your arm. One hand in contact to the space that you just practiced in, that you occupied, that held you through today's practice. Perhaps give a little tap of gratitude. And feel it tap back as it says thank you. When you're ready, slowly, mindfully, carefully, push yourself back up. Seated position. Checking in, maybe revisiting what that intention was that you set at the beginning of class, if you set one. Or just an awareness of how you feel in this moment. Please join me in 3 closing, cleansing breaths to get rid of anything else that does not serve us this evening. Big inhale, arms reach out towards the side and up. Audibly exhale through the mouth. Let it go. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me for today's class. I hope there's a sense of calm, power, and mobility that you cultivated today that you can take with you until I see you again. Namaste. Thank you.